I am in the middle of a winter wheat field here in central Washington state, where the farmers that manage and operate these fields have spent millions of dollars buying their tractors and equipment. But the truth is, they don't really own them, because the company that sold them that equipment, it doesn't really want them to own them. This video isn't just about tractors. It's about how one company found a legal way to put a time limit on ownership. And if they get away with this, everyone else will too. Last week, John Deere wrote a $99 million check, and the internet lost its mind celebrating. Right to repair advocates, farm groups, tech freedom people, all calling it a historic win, and on the surface, it looks like one. But pull back the curtain a little, and this story gets a lot darker. In 2022, 18 separate lawsuits got consolidated into one federal case in Chicago. Farmers, co-ops, independent repair shops, all making the exact same claim. John Deere had built a system that made it almost impossible to fix your own equipment without going through their dealer network. And that network was expensive, it was slow, and it was the only game in town. The lawsuit said that it was deliberate, that John Deere conspired with its dealers to lock out competition and trap farmers in a captive repair market. 4 years later, Deere settled $99 million. And they agreed, for the first time, to open access to the digital tools that farmers and independent shops need to actually diagnose and repair their own equipment. Now, farmers fought for years. They got money, they got access, and John Deere blinked. That's a win. To understand what $99 million actually means, you need to understand what John Deere was actually doing. Modern Deere equipment runs on proprietary firmware. Everything critical, the engine management, the diagnostics, the error codes, all of it is locked behind a software wall that only their authorized dealers could access. Your tractor throws a code, you can see that something's wrong. You just can't know what. You can't fix it. You can't even look. They didn't sell you a tractor, they sold you a subscription to the right to keep using it. And when it broke, and it would break, you had one option: call the dealer. Wait for the dealer, pay whatever the dealer charged. Now in 2019, a farmer in Missouri had his fertilizer spreader sitting at a John Deere dealership for 28 days. During planting season, that's the one window that determines your entire year. That's not a breakdown, that is a business model. Now, the USPIRG estimates that repair restrictions across the entire farm equipment industry cost farmers something like $4.2 billion every single year. John Deere's settlement covers 8 years of conduct. $99 million against 8 years of a $4.2 billion annual problem. And that $99 million, it doesn't go straight to farmers. Attorneys eat first. Then the lead plaintiffs, litigation costs, administrative fees. Whatever's left gets divided across thousands of farms. Individual farmers are probably getting checks that won't even cover a single dealer visit. That, to me, sounds like a loss. Now, I'm here in the middle of editing, and I thought I could throw in a little personal story about John Deere. I actually own John Deere equipment, and tractors, bulldozer, generators, and other things. And I wanted to explain what it looks like when the system actually works. Because here in the valley, I'm up on top of a mountain, I can call down to our local John Deere dealer, and they'll loan me tools, they'll let me walk back in their shop, they'll show me how to fix things, they'll sell me the parts, let me do the work myself, they'll send mechanics up when I'm lost or confused and I can't fix something and take care of it for me. These guys are fantastic. So when the system does work right, John Deere is an incredible company because the equipment itself is really good. There's a reason why John Deere is so popular, but it's that business model in that anti-right to repair that is the real problem. And so when it works, it's fantastic. When it's not working, it is an absolute nightmare. And I do feel for those farmers that are stuck in that situation. Anyway, back to the video. The money was never really the point though. The access commitment is, and that part is real. For the first time, John Deere agreed to make the diagnostic software available. The repair documentation, the tools that independent shops have been locked out of for years. Farmers can now take their tractors and their equipment somewhere other than a Deere dealership and actually get it fixed. That changes the market. That's what people have been fighting for. The 99 million is just the fine. The access is the victory. And that sounds more like a win. This commitment lasts 10 years. 10 years. Then it's over. No enforcement mechanism. Nobody has explained what happens on day 3,651. The access they owed farmers from the beginning, the access that courts and regulators and thousands of people spent years fighting for, agreed to? Temporarily, with no consequence for closing it back up. They didn't open the cage, they propped the door open and said, check back in a decade. And here's something almost nobody reported. The American Farm Bureau, that's the organization that is supposed to represent farmers, previously agreed not to support right to repair legislation. Now, in exchange for diagnostic tools that advocates said fell way short, the people farmers trusted to fight this battle had already left the table before the fight started. That monopoly didn't just lock out the mechanics, it locked out the advocates too. And then, about 2 weeks before this settlement dropped, John Deere was at the White House, the Great American Agriculture Celebration. Their brand new tractor on the South Lawn, standing next to President Trump, being celebrated as a partner in farmer freedom. Same company, active federal antitrust case still pending, a 9-figure check about to go out the door, talking about wins for farmers. So who won? Farmers got a fraction of what was taken. On a timeline that attorneys will monetize more than they will. They got access, real access, to tools that they should have had from day one. For 10 years with no guarantee after that. John Deere paid less than 3% of what this cost farmers in a single year. Admitted nothing, walked into the White House as a hero, and reserved the right to close the door again in 2036. This is what it looks like when you fight a company that has more lawyers than you have acres. It's not a win, it's not a loss, it's a settlement, which is what you offer when losing starts to cost too much, and you want to set the terms before someone else does. In 2026, there are a lot of states that are working on more right to repair legislation. And even though Washington, D.C., the president signs an executive order supporting right to repair, it doesn't feel, at least to me, that right to repair is solidifying. I feel like we're moving, but sometimes we're moving backwards. I don't know. That's just the way that I feel. Let me know how you feel. Drop a comment. I'll take a look at them. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. The right to repair fight, it isn't over. It just got a lot more complicated.